Clayton, Notre Dame pass defense, obviously one of the best in the country. You got to see it firsthand tonight. What makes them so good?
Their D-line. Yeah, D-line's really good. Those guys get pressure, and those D-ends and that D-tackle, they're pretty special. And those guys on the edge, 27's really good. Their safeties come down hard and play fast. Those guys are real good on the edge. But got a lot of respect for them. They played real well tonight.
Big picture, how do you think you all acquitted yourselves tonight in a big national game?
I think we're a little disappointed. We feel like we could have played better and won the game, but credit them. When we didn't score some points there, they jumped on and scored a lot. That's why they're the fourth team in the country. They're pretty good. So give all the credit to them, but we feel like we could have played better.
And after you got down 24-7, you came back with 2 touchdown drives. What was the kind of emotion, the mentality like after you had pulled to within 3?
Yeah, it was great on the sideline. We felt obviously we were right back in the game. We never felt like we were out of the game. We feel like with our offense and our 2-minute offense, we never feel like we're out of a game. And so we felt confident. And obviously they got a big score. They came up with the stop, and that was it.
Leading into that, you had that QB sneak on 4th and goal. Did you know you had gotten in the end zone there, because you got stacked up like pretty close to the line, or did you just like hope the signal came in? That was good.
Yeah, I did. I was driving my feet and just kept driving. I looked and I was about end zone's here, and I was like over there. So I knew I was in, and obviously at the end, everyone gets thrown back beyond the goal line, but I even pushed the ball out. So yeah, I knew I was in.
Is it a bit strange in a sense to think that this game doesn't really impact the conference race, though you would have still obviously liked to win it?
Yeah, it doesn't impact the conference race, but we're 0-3 in non-conference games this year, and I'm not going to get a chance to play another non-conference game here until a bowl game. But that's one way we got to be better. I know the guys coming back will do a much better job of that next year.
Clayton, how much does that front 7 for them force you into decisions earlier than you want to make?
Yeah, I think, like what you said, that's one of their strengths. We knew coming in, watching on last Sunday afternoon, watching 42, 9, 53, 99 get up there, and it's, they're special. So I think they definitely rush the passer. You got to get the ball out, and those DBs are waiting there, and they're pretty good. But I thought we, for the most part, handled them well. I knew I had to step up and make some throws, and so would have liked to make a few more plays here and there, but they're a really good team, so give them credit.
Clayton, another big game from Isaiah this week. What does it kind of mean for the rest of the season, reestablishing the run game the past 3 weeks?
It's huge. Those 2 weeks where we threw the ball over the place and ran for, I think, 40 yards total. Of course, I love it, but I also love, being balanced and running the ball as well. So it's really big for us. I'm so happy for him.
Heading into next week, what are some of the positives you're going to take from this game to use at Iowa?
Yeah, I think the first half we ran the ball really well, so that's another big thing because they run the ball well. We know that. I liked how we came back and kept fighting and kept going. We know we're going to get a good one next week in Iowa. So I think there's some good things to take away from this game. There's some things to learn from because I think we let one get away, and that good teams pounce on that. And that's what they did.
Certainly a different scenario being down by 10 when you got the ball back, but since the 2-minute offense has been so good, was it disappointing at all that you weren't able to get anything going there?
Just in that last drive at the end. Yeah. Of course we would love to score again, but they came up with some big stops and a big sack.
When you're going against a defensive front 7 like they have with a bunch of those talented players, what are some of the things that you can do mid-game to correct that? Is it just kind of we need to block better and execute better, or how can you kind of offset that?
I think there's some different things we can do, and I think we did, whether that's moving the pocket, whether that's running a draw, whether that's just calling quicker passes. I think there's a lot of different things we can do And I think our O-line did a much better job in the second half, or in the fourth quarter there, of giving me some time and we can throw the ball down the field a little bit. So I think a combination of all those.
Travis, late in the fourth quarter, Ian Book had that long touchdown run. What did you see on that play?
Yeah, I was on the other side, so I didn't really get a great view, but I think maybe just we fit it wrong. I'm not sure. We'll have to go back and look, but I think more so now we just got to watch this game, focus on going 1-0 next week, getting back to work, and I'm excited for that, so yeah.
Along those lines, obviously you're dying to beat Notre Dame, but how much is the thought of doesn't hurt you in the Big Ten standings?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been great to get a win. Our goal every week is to go 1-0, but at the same time, we know we play a great team next week, so we got to come prepared. We got to come locked and loaded and ready to go and just focus on getting better every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. So we'll be prepared and give ourselves a chance to get a win next week.
In the third quarter, when Jared and Trey went out with injuries, what was the mentality coming back into that?
Yeah, just being prepared, and it just shows that next man up, and you got to be ready. So taking that from practice to the game, you got to always be ready. You got to always be preparing like you are a starter. So when you have that opportunity, you can go out and just help the team and not let them down.
You were right there on the long TD pass to Young. What did you see? What happened on that play?
Yeah, I mean, they ran two verticals, I think, and we just didn't get over the top, and they kind of stretched it on us. So we'll go back, we'll watch the film, we'll clean up things that we need to clean up, and just get back to work.
What was kind of the feeling coming in with a night game, top 5 team coming to Ryan Field?
Yeah, I think it's an awesome experience, but I think also you don't need to get caught up in it. It's just one game and hard-fought game, and they're a great team, but we think we're a pretty good team too, so we just got to keep going and keep picking at it and doing everything we can to keep getting better.
What kind of playmaking ability does Cam Ruiz have?
Yeah, I think he's been an awesome asset this year. I think he's grown in his confidence, and I think that's been allowing him to just play fast and make more plays, and y'all saw on that punt and just freaking lasered in there. So that was awesome to see, and hopefully he can keep that up and keep growing as a player.
Notre Dame's quarterback came into the game leading the nation in completion percentage. Was the plan kind of to just take away the easy throws, and what changed in the third quarter?
I mean, yeah, he's a good player, but I think also we just, like I said, it just came down to breakdowns within our secondary, which we're going to go back, we're going to watch that film, and we're going to be able to correct that stuff so next week we can just get ready to go.
Of course, you wanted to win badly, but given next week's game, do you feel like kind of this was an okay result and probably came out in good health and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think, one, it's really disappointing because we had such a great crowd tonight. So shout out to our student section and to our fans. That's the best atmosphere I've ever played in at Ryan Field. So we were really excited up for this game. So very disappointed, but all our goals are ahead of us. We set out this year to win the West, and that's what we plan to do. So we're going to learn the lessons we can from this game and put it away real fast because we've got a big one coming up next week.
I mean, did it hurt especially so that you had gotten back into a game from a 17-point deficit and then couldn't get the offense back on the field to tie or go ahead in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think late in the game it's always you can look back at things you wish would have gone differently, but we know that it's a complete game, and to win against a great team like that, you've got to put a full game together. So there are going to be plays we wish we had back from every quarter, but when we have momentum, we want to be able to keep playing. But I mean, I think our defense gave us so many opportunities to win, giving us short fields, getting the ball back. So I think the whole team fought and ready to learn the lessons and move on.
Given that atmosphere you talked about, was it hard not to get too amped up for the moment and the opponent and just knowing kind of the magnitude of the game?
I think anytime you're competing, there's always this zone that you want to be in. And I mean, you always say you don't want to get too high, you don't want to be too low. You got to be in that box in between. I don't know if it was Ditka who said that or someone can check the source. But I think with a game like this, there's no worry about coming out flat. So it's just making sure that because once you get out there on the line of scrimmage, it's about doing your job. It's about your footwork. It's about the way that you finish and all that technique and physicality. So I think we can let the atmosphere inspire us, but if you let it distract you, that's where you're in trouble. But I think we've got a group that's really maturing, so I wasn't worried about us doing that.
Tommy, what stood out to you the most about Notre Dame's defensive line?
Yeah, I think they've got a lot of athleticism. But we know that we're a Big Ten offensive line, so our plan was to come in, run the ball up the middle, and we did that at times, but not consistently enough to win. But, yeah, they're definitely very athletic. 99 is a great player. So it'll be interesting to watch them going forward this year. But, yeah, they're a great team.